In Brazil, there are two paths to becoming a soccer player. The first is to join an academy at a young age, trained by licensed coaches, with complete facilities. The second is to play directly on dirt fields in inter-village tournaments called Várzea. For children from poor families who cannot afford academy fees, Várzea is the only way. The fields are not synthetic grass, but hard and dusty red soil. Referees are not always neutral. Spectators can be more aggressive than players. There are no training vests, just an agreement. The left team plays shirtless, the right team wears shirts. Raphinha, a player who now plays for FC Barcelona and the Brazilian national team, is a living example of the harsh realities of this path. He didn't grow up in an academy. He was raised in Raphinha, Porto Alegre, a poor neighborhood full of risks. From a young age, he played in Várzea tournaments, where not only skills are tested but also courage. In an interview, he admitted to often receiving threats before matches: "If you win today, you won't leave the field safely." Várzea is known as the toughest tournament in the world, not because of the high quality of play, but because the surrounding life is so brutal. Raphinha, one of Brazil's players who grew up in Várzea, once described it with a simple sentence: "People play with anger. They play to survive, to help their families." The pressure in Várzea doesn't come from the scoreboard, but from the harsh reality of life. From bills at home, from an empty kitchen, from a father who's gone. For most players there, football isn't a choice, but the only way out. In Várzea, even when the ball is right in front of the goal and it's just a touch away, everything can change in a split second. Not because of a defender blocking the way, but because of a loud voice from a distance, the kind of voice that shouldn't be heard in a football match. Yes, you probably know what that voice is. And in that moment, the choice becomes complicated. Do you still score the goal, or do you deliberately hold back? Because in some places, one goal can spark more than just anger. It can trigger something uncontrollable. The players know the risks. In Brazil, we have a saying that we always hold on to: if you can play in Várzea, you can play anywhere. No matter if it's the Champions League final, or even in front of 90,000 people, we're not intimidated. Because pressure like that is nothing new to us. I grew up watching friends one by one disappear. Some gave in to their surroundings. Some never returned to the field. And I couldn't pretend to be strong, because it all left scars. I have two families. One at home, one on the streets. Raphinha is far from the city center, so for some matches we had to leave early in the morning and return late at night. When none of us had food, we would beg from strangers on the street. You probably wouldn't want to do that, but we were really hungry. The problem is people are scared of us. Think about it. You've just played football, you're dirty and sweaty, maybe you also have some scars and bruises. They think we want to rob them, you know. It's really sad, because we just wanted to taste some food. A biscuit, a piece of bread, anything. I should add that I rarely had to beg like this. My parents worked hard to provide food on the table. However, we're not rich. Our house is so small that I had to share a bedroom with my parents and brother, and even the dog and cat. Thankfully, we have pets. They always cheered me up.